Hey guys, thanks for checking in back over here at the channel. Well, today what I have is some content that is really meant for those who are new to using Arken Optics, more specifically the Arken Optics zero stop system. Now in my comment section, I'm getting a lot of people who are posing questions to me. They're running into a frustrating situation. They're taking their new scope, they're getting things mounted, they're taking the rifle out and they're trying to get everything zeroed in. They're trying to move around their elevation turret and they can't go anymore. So clockwise, I'm bottoming out. I cannot turn my turret anymore. Can't get the thing zeroed in. What's going on? Simple fix. I'm going to show you guys what's going on. What's going on is your zero stop. So I've got another scope here. Going to make this short and sweet. If you've messed around with the Arken Optics and the zero stop systems before, hey, hang around, check this out. But if you know how to do this, and you know what's going on, go watch some deer hunt videos or something. But I've got a SH4 Gen 2 here. Got the 2mm wrench that all the Arkens come with that have the zero stop. And I've got the upper turret, got the elevation turret off so you guys can see what's going on. Now if I look at this scope right here, you guys can see there's a ridge, there's a lip right here on this zero stop ring, all right? There's a lip right here. Inside your elevation turret on the top, we've got a brass screw right here, and we've got a screw on the top that looks like a screw, but this thing really, well, you can't really see it in there, but if you were here with me looking down in there, it's kind of a post. And what happens is when you put this turret cap on, this little post is going to bump into that ridge right there. So you guys can see it. So I'm hitting it with the wrench. Same thing happens when you turn it down in, it bumps into that ridge right there. Now when you look at this turret cap, there's a brass screw. The brass screw does not go through and tighten this thing up back onto the brass post inside your scope. The brass screw stops that screw from going up and down. So why will my turret not go down anymore? I can't zero this thing in. Well, what's happening is your zero stop is bumping into that deal. A couple things may have happened. You might have a new scope and you really just never set the thing up and it's bottoming out. The other thing that often is happening to people is this brass screw in the front is loosening up. So I'm going to show you guys something here. This right now, its zero stop is set at 0. I'm going to take my little 2mm wrench here. I'm going to spin out, it'll loosen this thing up. We'll say we're doing a bunch of shooting today and that screw loosened up. That's not going to be enough to give us any issues. You hear it? Zero stop is still bumping, but recoil moving around the rifle. Let's say that this zero stop on top, well, let's say this thing wiggled its way outward. Now you're going to see, look, I'm not hitting it anymore. I can go past the 0. Just the same, if this thing were to wiggle its way down, it's going to cause some friction as it bottoms out on this actual ring right here, and you're going to feel that. So I'm turning this thing down overly tight and it won't turn. See, I can't even go that way. So what you want to do when you set these zero stops up is, what I like to do is take the scope, get your scope mounted, get your scope leveled, start doing your shooting. This zero stop is really the last thing you're going to do. You can keep this brass screw loosened up. You can keep this thing loosened up. And then what's going to happen, I'm going to switch scopes right here so I can do it without messing around here. But what's going to happen is you're going to have your turret here. Now, let me make sure I've got these screws all backed out so I can get this thing back on to show you. And I can show you guys it's the exact same thing with an EP5 or an EPL4. It's all the same thing. So if I take this, got my turret on here. So I go out, I do some shooting, I got this thing all zeroed in. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to loosen up these screws so I can then spin this without getting the clicks. I'm going to set this thing at 0, come around, get it where I want it on the 0. Now the stainless steel screws, you got to tighten up first. So I'm going to get these tightened, and I do like to tell people to try to do them evenly. Don't have one pushed in all the way and the other ones, you know, so this thing is centered good. But you're going to tighten these up. So now I've got the turret tightened up where you're going to hear the clicks. Now, once I get this right there, because I know 0 is where I zeroed the gun, now what I'm going to do is make sure this brass one's backed out. I'm going to go back into the top one here, and I'm going to spin it down until it touches. I feel it lightly touch, and I'm going to back the wrench back out just a little bit, like a quarter turn. And I'm going to take this one, snug up the brass one. Now, you see how quick I did that? I got my 0 stop set. If I need to go lower again, what I need to do, let's say I take this thing back out and I'm trying to re-zero with some different ammunition, and I actually need to go lower, or this was the new scope that I just mounted it up. Again, I'm going to first loosen up the brass one. I'm going to back the 0 stop out. I'm going to back it way up. So now I can go farther. I can go where I need to go. So that is the simple solution to, hey, my turret will not go down any farther on my scope. It's your 0 stop giving you issues. So hey, thanks for checking in with that. A simple fix. All you need is this 2mm wrench that it comes with. Get your 0 stop all set up. I do have some content specifically showing you how to do it. Kind of did just now as well. But this is more about fixing it if you're really new to using these Arken scopes and their 0 stop system. Simply got to back out the brass screw, back out the screw on top, spin it where you want it, and reverse those order of operations right there. Thanks for checking back in, and get on out there, get your Arken Optics out there, keep on shooting.